Picture this. You have just hosted dinner. The table was beautiful. Everybody ate well. You made sure of it, right? You cleared the plates, washed the dishes, wiped down the counters. You even thanked your guests for coming. And now you're standing in your empty kitchen and you haven't eaten. You're tired, too depleted, and somehow you don't even feel hungry anymore. Has that been any of you? But here's what no one's talking about. This isn't just about food. This is about how you have trained yourself as a highly sensitive person to believe that your nourishment comes last. Your nourishment comes last. Your needs, your rest, your joy, if they even come at all. So today, I'm going to be breaking down 3 stages that keep HSPs starving themselves in every area of life and how to finally put something on your plate and put yourself first. So let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sly. I am a practicing pediatric RN turned writer. This is the video version of my Substack, which is a soft room for healing, boundary setting, nervous system regulation, especially if you feel everything. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome. I welcome you with both hands. And I want to remind you, take your shoes off, grab some tea. I have my tea here, and clench your jaw, relax your shoulders, and let's exhale together. So, before we dive in today, I have to shout out Heather from my Substack community, the HSP Sanctuary. She sent me this question and she wanted me to answer it. She said, how do we get used to not taking nourishment of all kinds? We clean, we make sure the table is set, we serve, we clean up, thank our guests for coming, then we eat or go to bed too tired to think of eating? Heather, this question hit me right in my gut. I have to be honest, because I have been that person standing in the empty kitchen. And if you're watching this, chances are you have too. So let's get right into it. The first lesson is what I call the setup, because you organize the feast. Okay. So the first stage is what I call the setup. And this is where you organize the feast for everybody else. But somehow you forget to include yourself. So here's the thing. You're not doing this consciously, by the way. You genuinely believe that you're just being a good host, a good partner, a good friend, a good daughter. But let me paint the picture for you. You're planning the meal. You're thinking about what everyone else likes. Oh, Sarah doesn't eat gluten. Mark's been so stressed, so I'll make his favorite. Mom likes certain things a certain way, so I'll set the table how she prefers. You're already anticipating needs before people even voice them. You're making everything perfect because that's what you do as an HSP, highly sensitive person. You feel what's needed and you fill the gaps, right? Now, Here's the question nobody asks. Where is your plate in all of this? You haven't thought about what you want to eat. You haven't considered whether you're hungry. You haven't even asked yourself if you even have the energy for this. Because somewhere again along the line, and I mentioned this in my previous episode, you learned that good people serve without needing. And listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't care about others. Your empathy is a gift. But when you're so tuned into everyone else's hunger that you can't even fill your own, that's not virtue. That's self-abandonment. No other way to say it. That's self-abandonment, which leads to self-erasure. Now, once you've set the table for everybody else, here's what happens next. Lesson number 2, the service. You feed everybody but yourself. Stage 2 is the service. And this is where things get really, really real. So, as I said, this is stage 2. It's called the service, and it's going to get really, really real. And I'll tell you what I mean. You are in the thick of it now, right? Everyone's at the table, and you're not sitting, you're hovering. I've been that person when you're being the host, when you're hosting for the day. So this is what you're doing, right? Um, you're refilling water glasses before they're empty. You're noticing when someone's uncomfortable and adjusting the conversation. You're just reading the room, just reading the room. There's tension here, awkward silence there, and you're smoothing it all over, right? Meanwhile, that's so me. That's so me. Meanwhile, when I'm hosting, that's what I do. Meanwhile, so calling me out. This was me. Oh my God, it's calling me out. My gosh. So, meanwhile, you haven't even sat down. You have not eaten at all. You haven't even taken a sip of water. Speaking of that, I better take my sip of tea. But your nervous system is just buzzing because you can feel everyone's satisfaction, and your brain somehow tricks you into thinking, oh, if they're fed, I'm fed. What? If they're fed, I'm fed. That's just what the brain is tricking you to do. So you're like, yes, they ate. Okay, if they ate and they fed, I'm fed. Now, but to be honest, you're not. You're running on empty. You're running on fumes. And here's the HSP layer that a lot of people probably don't talk about. And that's why I started the HSP Sanctuary on Substack. You're literally absorbing their comfort as your own. Their full bellies, their laughter, their ease. You feel it so deeply, your body forgets you still need nourishment too. Wow. Yeah. I definitely do that. That's me. You're calling me out. That's me for sure. So you keep serving, you keep adjusting, you keep making sure everybody else is okay. And that's because that's what feels safe for us at the time. That's what feels like love. But love that costs you everything, that's not sustainable. Love that costs you everything is not sustainable at all. So I I urge you to ask yourself, when was the last time you sat down at your own table. And this is not just physically, but emotionally, creatively. In your relationships, when was the last time you let yourself receive instead of just give? And I shared that in a previous episode of Glow Atanmo and I speaking in Bali. What that you should watch that episode because I share how I wasn't used to receiving and I was always just the giver. So I will link that episode at the bottom so you guys can watch it. And if you're anything like me, you know what happens after the service stage, right? Takes us right into lesson number 3, the collapse. You go to bed very hungry. So stage 3 is the collapse. And this is the part that breaks my heart every time. It really does. I'm getting chills even thinking about it right now. So everyone's gone. The kitchen's sparkling clean because I'm a type A. I have cleaned the kitchen. So have you. You did it. You pulled it off. Everybody had a great time. Wow. I'm just thinking about it right now, replaying my memory again. And now you're standing in your quiet kitchen. You're so exhausted, you can't even think about eating. Your body starts shutting down. The stimulation crash is hitting hard, really hard. And suddenly you can feel how empty you are. Here's the cruel part. Now that you can finally feel your hunger, you're too depleted to do anything about it. Ah, yeah. So you know what happens next? You tell yourself, I'll eat tomorrow. I'll do better next time. I'm just tired right now. And you go to bed hungry again. Yes, that has been me. As a host, that is exactly what I do. Excuse me. So here's what I need you to know and hear. This isn't one dinner. This is your entire life. This is your relationships where you give until you're hollow. Then wonder why you feel resentful. This is your work where you take on everyone else's stress, then burn out and blame yourself. This is your creativity where you tell yourself, I'll make time for that later. But that later never comes. You're always setting the table for other people. And you're always going to bed hungry. But here's the good news. You can change this pattern right now, today, after you finish watching this video. And it starts with one simple practice. Get my tea. Tomorrow, whether you're hosting a literal meal or a meeting, and again, I'm going to repeat myself. This is something that you can practice starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, whether you're hosting a literal meal, a meeting, or just an emotional conversation, I want you to remember that this is a practice that you can do, right? I want you to ask yourself, that's again, for those in the back, tomorrow, whether you're hosting a literal meal, a meeting, or just an emotional conversation, I want you to ask yourself, where is my plate? And before you serve one more person, before you fill one more glass, because I know I'm calling myself out too, before you smooth over one more tension, put one thing on your plate first. One thing. One bite of food, one sip of water, one moment of rest, one boundary that protects your energy. Just one thing. That's it. Just one thing. Because here's the truth. When you nourish yourself first, you have so much more to give. Not from depletion, but from overflow. Not from depletion, not from overflow. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to let you know what I realized, right? And we're going to be wrapping up here. So, yeah, it's all just hitting me all at once, thinking about this, what I'm sharing with you guys right now. Wow. Because I'm about to share with you what I realized. If I saw someone I love doing this, for instance, serving everyone, going to bed hungry, apologizing for existing, I'd be heartbroken. I'd say, stop. Please sit down. Let me take care of you for once. So, why don't we do that for ourselves? Why don't we do that for ourselves? We're always taking care of other people. If you haven't watched the videos in this series, I want you to go back and check out how to stop people pleasing. And the second one would be you're not too sensitive, you're overgiving. They're all connected and they're going to help you see the bigger picture of how this pattern shows up. And if you want to go even deeper, I write about this stuff a couple of times a month on Substack, and I post the notes every day. And I'll put my Substack link in the description below. Stumbling over my words as I told you guys, I'm getting used to being on camera. That's where I unpack all the layers. And before you go, drop me a plate in the comments with some forks if you're committing to putting something on your plate first this week. I read every single comment, and I want to hear where you are starving yourself so we can support each other in this. And if this resonated with you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode. We're building something special here, a place where your needs matter just as much as everyone else's. Yes, why not? And thank you for being here today. I hope you're finding some of these lessons that I'm sharing with you helpful. Take care of that beautiful heart of yours. You deserve a seat at your own table. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.